Moin Moin and welcome to Ralfs Foto-Bude. Yeah, in the last few days some of my readers asked me what's the difference between the new Olympus OM-D E-M1 and the Panasonic DMC-GX7. So both of them are cameras, mirrorless cameras, we say in Germany system cameras. They both don't have a mirror, and they both are micro four third cameras, so you can change the lenses between both systems. You can use the Olympus lenses on the Panasonic, and you can use the Panasonic lenses on the Olympus. Both cameras are in the high-end segment of mirrorless cameras. So they are for the ambitioned amateur or the semi-professional photographers. But there are some differences between these cameras, and I want to explain what the differences between these cameras are. So I don't go into the deep of into the depths of the functions of the cameras, but I want to explain the main differences of both cameras. So as I said before, they both have a micro four thirds sensor. They both have 16 megapixel sensor. So you can see these are both cameras without the lenses. So you see they have the same bayonet and they have the same pins for the connection to the lens. And here you can see the difference in size. So it's mostly the same size. The only thing, the Olympus has the pentaprism. It's not a pentaprism, I know, but there is the viewfinder, so the camera has a little bit more height than the Lumix from Panasonic. But in the main, the sizes are almost equal. The Olympus has a little bit more weight than the Lumix. And one important thing, for the Olympus you get a grip to put under the camera, so you have a grip for portrait photography, and you have two batteries in the grip underneath the OM-D. The same thing, it's not possible to put at the GX7. The GX7 doesn't have a portrait grip or something else, so that's the end size of the camera. You cannot make the grip bigger because you cannot put a battery, a spare battery compartment under the camera. One of the main differences between both cameras, it's the same sensor in size and the same sensor in megapixel, but there's one main difference between those sensors. Usually a mirrorless camera has the contrast autofocus, and only DSLR has the face detection autofocus. So Olympus did one thing, they put some face detection pixels on the sensor, so they integrated a face detection system on the sensor. It's like the Fuji camera, the X100S has also face detection system on the sensor. The big advantage is you have the faster autofocus with the face detections than the contrast autofocus. But on the other hand, the face detection autofocus only works with the old 4/3 lenses. So if you use the newer micro four third lenses like this one or the 75mm, the camera still works only with a contrast autofocus. Only if you use lenses like this. This is a 4/3 lens, you see here, digital 14 to 54mm Olympus. Combined with the adapter. It's an adapter, you see here, just turn it around so you can see it. This is the adapter for thirds to the 4/3 to micro four thirds. So only if you use this lens you get advantage of the face detection autofocus. You can see this very easy because if you put a 4/3 lens with an adapter on the camera and you want to change the autofocus area, you see the autofocus area is in the middle of the camera. This is the autofocus area for the face detection. area, and if you change and use a Micro Four Thirds lens like this one, this is a Micro Four Thirds lens, and then you use the autofocus again, you will see the autofocus area is bigger, and now the camera only uses the contrast autofocus. There's only one point when the camera also uses face detection. When you use this lens, that's when you use autofocus continuous. Then the camera decides by herself when to use the contrast autofocus and when to use the face detection autofocus. But you cannot choose by yourself. So the camera does choose, and it depends on the scene, and if there's something moving or something like that, then the camera goes to the face detection autofocus. So that's one thing. The Panasonic only has contrast autofocus, like all the other mirrorless cameras, only contrast autofocus, but it's a very fast autofocus. So if you compare it with the Olympus, the advantage of the Olympus is only if you use the old lenses with the with the 4/3 adapter. Then the Olympus is a little bit faster, might be a little bit faster than the Panasonic, but in normal use, if you use the normal Micro Four Thirds lenses, in my opinion, both cameras have the same speed with the contrast autofocus system. Another difference between between both sensors, the Olympus sensor is stabilized. So the stabilizer system is built in the camera, and it's a very advanced stabilizer system which Olympus uses. It's a 5-axis stabilizer. It doesn't only work in this direction and in this direction, it also works if you shake the camera in this direction. So it's really a real good stabilizer which is built in the camera. It's the same with like in the EP5 and in the old OM-D, but it's a little bit better. Still, it's a little bit better. And the Olympus lenses doesn't have a built-in stabilizer, so the camera only works with a built-in stabilizer and not with a stabilizer in lenses. If you use lenses from Panasonic, you can see this is a Panasonic lens, and it has a Mega OES, Mega Optical Image Stabilizer, so that's a built-in stabilizer in the lens. You should switch off the stabilizer of the lens, because it's not good to work with both stabilizers in the lens and in the body. So switch off the stabilizer in the lens if you use a Panasonic lens with a stabilizer. You see you have here the 100 to 300 lens, and there at the side you have a switch where you can turn off the Mega OIS. So at one point, usually when you work with a Panasonic camera, you have lenses with a Mega OIS, like this one. So if you put this lens on the camera, the stabilizer is in the lens and not in the body. But the GX7 is the first camera of Panasonic which has also a built-in stabilizer. So also the GX7 has, like the OM-D, has a built-in stabilizer which is on the sensor, so the sensor is moving, you have both systems. So you can see this very easy. The camera decides which lens is on the camera, and then it uses the stabilizer system. So if you have a lens like this, a Mega OES, the image stabilizer is built in the lens. If you press the button, you see the camera doesn't show anything on the screen, so the OES in the lens works. So let's put in the Olympus lens without a stabilizer. The Olympus lenses are without a stabilizer. If you put this one, you see the camera changes to the stabilizer in the body. You see here's the small sign which says stabilizer in the body. So the camera switches from the lens to the body, and if you use again a lens with this one with a stabilizer, the camera switches back and you see here we are, the body disappears and the stabilizer's in the lens. One thing, if you switch off the stabilizer here, the camera won't work without won't work with the built-in stabilizer. It always works with the stabilizer in the lens, and if you switch this one off, the camera has no stabilizer, so you can't choose between both systems. The efficiency of the systems in the lenses is real good. It's almost the same like the efficiency of the Olympus system, the built-in system. The stabilizer on board, I think it's not as good as the Olympus one. The Olympus one works in 5 axes and this one only works in 2 axes, this direction and this direction. You can change the settings in the menu. If you want to make movies and move the camera from the left to the right, you have to switch off the stabilizer, which works in this direction. You only use the stabilizer which works in this direction. In my opinion, the stabilizer on board is not so good as the Olympus stabilizer, but still gives you like 2 to 3 f-stops in the stabilization, so it's still a good one in the camera. Yeah, that's the points for the sensor. Now let's get a look to the screen and to the electronic viewfinder. As I said before, the Olympus has the electronic viewfinder on this thing. It's like a pentaprism on a DSLR camera. The Panasonic has the viewfinder here on the side, and one real nice thing which I like very much is you can turn the viewfinder up. So you can use the viewfinder, like hold the camera in front of you, look through. You can stabilize the camera like a tripod. You have your 2 hands to stabilize it, and your eye and your body, so you can make a real nice stabilization of the camera even if you use bigger lenses. And I like it a little bit to go down with the camera. It gives you a little bit more different kind of look of your photos. So I use the turnable viewfinder very often because I like it to work like this. The dioptrine correction is here underneath the viewfinder. It's a little bit difficult to find, because if the viewfinder is like this, you won't find the dioptrine correction, but it's here underneath the electronic viewfinder. The screen you can turn like this, and you can turn it downward like this. So that's exactly the same like the Olympus has. You see, this is the Olympus. You can turn it this way and this way. And the electronic viewfinder is built in, so you can't move it upwards. Let's talk about the size and the resolution of the viewfinder. The resolution of both is very good. It's over 2 million dots, so that's a very clear, crystal clear picture. It's very detailed and sharp in both cameras. The viewfinder of the Olympus is a little bit bigger. It's very difficult to say how big it is, because you have different measurements, but easy to understand is if you compare it with a flat screen. I would say the Panasonic has a 40 or 42 inch monitor, and the Olympus had a 46 or maybe a 50 inch monitor. So let's give you an idea how big is the difference between both viewfinders. But you can work with both perfect. The picture is big enough to work with both perfect, and even if you wear glasses, it's perfect to work with both viewfinders. The Olympus is a little bit more comfortable because it's a little bit bigger. It gives you a little bit more image than the GX7, but still 100% of the view. But still 100% of the scene is in the viewfinder. So there's no cutoff like in the DSLR with an optical viewfinder, where you have a picture of 95% or 96% of the scene. So the resolution of the screen is also almost the same. It's very bright, nice picture of the screen, One thing, this one is a touch screen and this one is a touch screen. So they both are touch screens, but I think there's a difference between the system. Not the system on the touchscreen, but the system of to work with the camera, because in the Panasonic you can do everything with the touchscreen. So you have the quick menu. So if you go into the quick menu, you see we have your white balance. So if you want to change the white balance, just put your finger on the icon you want to change, and then it changes. If you want to change the photo style, just put your finger on the photo style and you can change it very easy, very fast. You can change the resolution, just put your finger on the resolution symbol for the picture setting and then choose the picture setting. So this works very easy and very fast. The same in the menu. If you start the menu, just go on the menu and you want to change something, just put your finger on it, picture size, and then you can change between the different settings. It's very easy, it's very fast. If you don't want to use your fingers on the screen, you still have the four-way button. You can use the four-way button here on the side of the camera. So that's I say old-fashioned method, and you have the two dials. One dial is here and one dial is here on the back side of the camera. If you turn the front dial, you change between the different main menus, and if you turn the back dial, you change between the individual settings in the menu. If you press the button, let's go up again to the picture size. If you press the button, because this is not only a dial but it's a built-in button, you can press and you go in the next menu down and you can change here the setting, press the button again and you're back in the menu overview. So it's very easy. So you have the three different kinds of working in the menus. You can use your touch finger, your touch screen, you can use the four-way button, or you can use the dials, and you can combine every combination. So it's very easy. And one real nice thing, if you look through the viewfinder and want to change a menu, you can do it by the dials. If you're used to this early when you use your camera, it's very easy to change the menus in the viewfinder. So you can change the settings. Even when you take pictures, you just look through the viewfinder, press the menu button, and then you can change very fast the different menu settings. You don't have to put the eye from the viewfinder to the screen. I like this very much because I can change the settings real fast. If we go to the Olympus, yes, we have a touch screen. So you see, I can move the object. It's just I have to change. So you see, I can. I've turned it off. I can move the finger on the screen to put the autofocus field on a certain point. So you see, there is a touch screen. But if I go into the menu, you see the menu is not a touchscreen menu. So in the menu, you have to work with the dials. Also, the Olympus has two dials. One is here at the release button, one is here at the back side. So you have to turn the dials or work with the four-way button as usual. So you can maneuver into the different menus with a four-way button. So that's not a touch screen in the menus. Olympus also held it like a quick menu. If you press the OK button, you're in the quick menu. You see we have the settings of the different settings here at the side. And again, it's not a touch screen. You have to work here with the four-way button, or again, you have to work with a dial. The front dial changes the setting here, and the back dial changes, the back dial changes the setting here, and the front dial, with the front dial you change the individual setting. One thing, you can go to the mega menu. This one is called the mega menu, and if you're in the mega menu, sorry, I'll put the finger in front of the eye finder. So if you're in the mega menu is a touchscreen menu. Here you can change the settings like if you want to go to the picture mode, just set your finger on the picture mode and then turn the dial, the front dial, and you can change the picture mode. But that's only in the Mega menu and not in this menu. To reach the Mega menu or to activate the Mega menu, you have to go in the menu and then go to the custom menu, and in the custom menu here we have the pointed display, and in the display you have the custom settings, and here in the custom setting you have to I would suggest that you put all 3 points to on, and then you have the different settings while pressing the info button. So yeah, that's a little bit the difference between the two screens. And one very curious thing, and I don't know, I have looked through all the menus and have looked with the old EPL5 with the electronic viewfinder on top. One very curious thing is if you work in the menu, you only can work on the screen on the back side. You cannot change to the viewfinder. So if you work in the viewfinder, you see the camera now doesn't change because it's on the back. If you are in the viewfinder, oops, here we are, here is the viewfinder, sorry for that. So here's the viewfinder, and now you have a look through the viewfinder. Now if I press the menu button, it disappears. The menu you won't see the menu in the electronic viewfinder, so you have to remove the eye from the electronic viewfinder to look on the screen. I don't know why it is. Maybe I've did a mistake and I have overseen something in the menu, but I tried, as I said, the EPL5, and at the EPL5 it's exactly the same. You won't see the menu in the electronic viewfinder, only on the screen. So you see, I have showed you some of the screen, the electronic viewfinder, and by the way, you have seen the most important dials and buttons of the camera. I can give you a little overlook of the dials and buttons of the camera. Here on the side we have HDR and autofocus, then we have the big program dial. Here we have the shutter release, then we have a button where you can change the gradation, you have the video button, and then you have the dial as I showed you before. On the back side you have you can change between two settings of the dials. I'll show you later how this will work. That's a very neat and nice function. You have the AEL and FEL button, info button, OK button, the four-way button, menu, replay, and the trash button. Yeah, I show you how this will work if you are in the I go to the manual mode. Oh, you can lock the dial here. If you press the button, you lock the dial. That's a nice function. So you can lock the dial, and if you put it in your bag, it's not turned by the bag or something else. You won't turn. So if you're in the manual mode, oops. Oops, why is it so dark now? Just give me 1 second. Let's see. Oops. I don't know why this is so dark now. The screen is so dark. I don't know why. Oh, okay, it was in manual. Oh, I know. It was in manual and in live view. So if you are in manual and you have like bulb and 22, it's very dark. Sorry, it's my fault. So if you turn the dial now here in front, you can change the setting. But I think, yeah, here we are. You change the setting, and you see if I turn the dial on the back dial, I change the setting of the exposure time or shutter speed, and if I turn the front dial, I change the aperture. So these are the dials: back dial, front dial, time, and aperture. And if I now turn the dial on position 2, you see the ISO is lightened yellow and the white balance is lightened yellow. The reason is because if you turn the front dial, you change the ISO, and if you turn the back dial, you change the white balance. So you can change the settings of both dials just by turning this small lever from 1 to 2, and you can customize the two dials. So I think it's a real nice function, because so you can change 4 settings very fast just by turning this lever from 1 to 2, and it gives you a little bit more control over the camera just by turning this dial. I like this very much because usually you have aperture time, ISO, and white balance. These are the 4 things I have to change very often. I like this one very much, and I think that's a real nice function. I said before, here on the top you have the button for the gradation, and I can show you what this will do. If you press this button, you get the gradation curve on the screen, and you can change the gradation just by turning the dials, and you can make it very soft. You see now this is very soft. I give you a little bit more wide angle view. This is very soft, and again, oops, sorry, and again press the button again, and now we make it very hard. You see, this one is very hard. So you can change the gradation. Exactly the same thing we have on the GX7. On the GX7, it's under the point, just give me a look where it is. I will show you how it is. Highlight and shadow. If you use the point highlight and shadow, you get exactly the same, and it works exactly the same. Just turn the front dial and just turn the back dial, and you get the different gradations. They have like different presets, and they have a customized setting. So if you go here and you see we have different settings, and we have 3 customized settings where you can customize your individual setting of the gradation. So both cameras have this system. So if we go to the program points, on both camera we have PASM, that's for sure. Then we have the scene mode. This is also the same on both cameras. You see we have here different settings. You can change it to the single view, so you can see the different settings in single view, or you can see them all in the you can have an explanation, or you can see them in an overview like this. And we have, you see, we can have a look here. We have 24 different settings, and the last one is a panorama shot. And the panorama shot works like you only have to move the camera. The camera combines the single pictures to one panorama automatic. We have the panorama function also here on the Olympus, but you have to combine the pictures by yourself, so it's not a panorama like moving the camera only around. So if you have a look at the different programs, we have here also portrait, landscape, and so on and so on. I think these are mostly the same settings on both cameras. You see here's the panorama function also. I think these are mostly the same programs on both cameras, so there's no real advantage between one or the other camera. Next point is the art filter. Olympus calls it art filter. You see we have the art filter here, and if you go to the art filters, we have let's go start with point 1. We have 13 different art filters, from pop art to down to art bracketing. Here you can say you want to make one shot, and the camera makes like 3, 4, 5 or 10 different art pictures out of these one shoot you make. You can have different settings in the art filters. So if you use an art filter like pinhole, you see there's a small sign which said you can you can customize these functions. Just go and you will see you have different filter types, and you see the different filters just here on the on the screen you see the effect of the different settings directly on the screen, so you can customize the different art filters. Exactly the same at the Panasonic. If you go here to this little symbol here, you see this the little symbol here, then you have, just start also with the number 1, you have expressive, retro, old days, and so on and so on. These are also a lot of art filters you can use, or creative filters you can use. And I show you at the sunshine filter how you can customize the filters too, so that's almost the same. I think it's a little bit more advanced, like the Olympus. So if you have the filter, you see we have here 3 different soft buttons, and if you press the upper one, you see we are in the settings of the art filter, and if you put the finger on the first one here, you see here is the sun, and you can move the sun from this side to this side. You can change the size by just dialing the button here. If you say it's okay, then you say okay, and you can change the color from yellow to red to blue to white. Okay, and you can change the and you can change the aperture and shutter speed if you want to do this, and you can change, you can make a correction of you can make a correction of the picture. So you see, you also have at the Lumix, at the GX7, you also have a lot of possibility to individualize your setting of the creative filters. I think in every filter there's a different setting. You can change the grain size in the black and white picture or something else. So both cameras, they're on the absolute similar level, and there's absolutely no difference. Next point is the built-in flash. The GX7 has a built-in flash. The Olympus doesn't have a built-in flash. You have the flash shoe here on top. When you buy the Olympus, you get an external flash, a small external flash with a camera. So you have a flash, but it's not a built-in flash. The flash shoe is not only a flash shoe, but it's also a shoe where you can put accessories on, like an external microphone. The GX7 has no connection for an external microphone. Only the Panasonic G6 has the option for an external microphone. The GX7 has no jack for to put in an external microphone, or you have special flashlights or lights or something else. So that's the accessory shoe where you can put different things on the Olympus. Next point, the body. The body of the Olympus OM-D E-M1 is water sealed and dust sealed, so you can use it in a rain shower, or you can use it outdoors if you have high humidity or something else. So the body is sealed, and the lenses, this lens is sealed also. If you use other lenses, they may not be sealed, so be careful if you use other lenses like this one or so. Read the guarantee or the instruction, where you can see if the lens which you use, if this one is sealed or not. Talking about the function buttons, we have a lot of functions buttons or customized buttons here at the cameras. The Olympus we have here in front, we have two more buttons which you can customize. So there's a lot of functions you can customize at both cameras. The menus are real big, and you have to learn a lot if you want to get the best picture quality, and if you want to customize your camera for your personal use. The Panasonic also has a lot of function buttons. We have here one function button. Sorry, we have here function buttons, and I showed you before, we have the quick menu, which you can customize also, so you have a lot of things to do in the camera. And we have here these small buttons, the soft buttons, where you can change the setting. You have the function button, and if you use the function button, you have function 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. These are the soft functions, and you can here, for example, you can use a guideline, and if you want to use this guideline, you can make the position of the guidelines by yourself. That's a real nice function. For the golden cut, you can put the point in the corner or on the point you want to put it, and gives you good help to make real nice pictures. You have the display button, and if you press the display button, you can put in an 3-day level meter. At the Olympus exactly the same. Also you have a 3-day level meter at the Olympus. Just press the info button and you see you have the different settings, and here, whoops, too fast, and here we have the 3D level meter down there and at the side. So exactly the same, both of the cameras have a 3D level meter. Shortest shutter time, 1/8 of a 1/8000th of a second. Both have a bulb function. The Olympus has a real nice bulb function because they have live bulb, and in the live bulb function you set the camera at a tripod, you start the live bulb function, and you will see on the screen how the picture grows and grows and grows and get brighter, brighter, brighter and brighter, and on a certain point, if it's bright enough, you can stop the exposure, and you have real good control over the live bulb function. The Panasonic doesn't have this function, but the Panasonic still have a bulb function, so you can make long time exposures also with the Panasonic. One thing, both of the cameras has a Wi-Fi function. The Wi-Fi function of the Olympus, you can have a live view, so you can put your smartphone, or you can set up the camera, connect the Olympus with your smartphone, and you have the live picture on the smartphone. You can change some settings. It's not a lot which you can change. You can exposure time, you can change the aperture. It's only a few settings which you can change. Much more advanced is the Wi-Fi function of the Lumix GX7. There you have the option, you can set the almost every setting of the camera you can set on your smartphone, even if it's white balance, if it's the picture style or anything else. So you can change a lot of settings on your smartphone. You have the live view on your smartphone, you can change a lot of settings. And one really nice point of the GX7 is you can send the picture in the background. So what means this? You make a picture, just you connect the camera you connect the camera to your smart device, to your smartphone, tablet PC, or to your home PC if you work in the Wi-Fi at home. Then you take a picture, and just when you have taken the picture, it will transmit it in the background to your device via Wi-Fi, and you can make the next picture, and the camera works in the background and send all the pictures you have taken to your device. So you can take pictures, and the pictures will go to your computer in the background or to your smart device. That's a very nice function because you don't have to change between sending and taking pictures. This you have to here. If you want to send the pictures, you have to go out of the camera menu, or you have to go out of shooting, connect the camera with your smart device, and then you transmit the pictures. If the transmission is finished, then you can shoot the next picture and make the next pictures. So this is not so comfortable. It works, it's fine, everything works fine at the Olympus, but it's not as comfortable as the Panasonic. And the Panasonic, here you can transmit the pictures to your television screen, you can transmit it to Facebook, and so on and so on. And that's very easy. Some of the function you have also in the OM-D E-M1, but all over the Wi-Fi functions from the Lumix are a little bit more advanced, a little bit better, and you have much more options where you can put the pictures from your camera to the different devices, and you can share to the different points. Talking about the menus, the menu of the GX7 is, I think, in my opinion, it's a little bit easier to understand. You have the different main settings here on the front of the camera. It starts with the I'll just turn it here because otherwise it's a little bit difficult to explain. You start with the normal photo menu. You have the photo style, aspect ratio, picture size, quality, burst rate, and so on and so on. You see there, I do not explain now every point because I will only give you an overview. You have the different settings. Then we have the video settings. Sorry, wrong direction. We have the video settings. Here you see we have HD or MP4. It's a very difficult word. And we have the highest resolution is 50p. Just go up there. Full HD 50p with 28 megabits per second. Yeah, so the menu is. It's okay, it's quite good to understand, and it's good to work in the menu, but still, when you use a camera like this, a very advanced camera like this, you have to learn your menu. If you want to make the best pictures, if you want to make real good pictures, you have to work with the camera, you have to learn the menus, because there are so many points in the menu, and if you change one point, it can change the whole setting of the camera, and you get a bad picture, or if you change it in the other way, you get a real good picture. So you have to work with the camera, you have to learn the menus. That's very, very important, and one of the major things you have to do when you want to make real good pictures. If you go in the menu of the Olympus, it's almost the same, but you have the custom menu, and the custom menu is a real long menu. I think it's almost 100 points, and in each point you have some more under points. Like I said, the control setting here, you can make different settings on each point. The info settings, you have different settings here. You can say which you want to see on the screen in the different info modes. So there are lots of settings you can do at the Olympus. One important thing, if you might wonder, that you see these 2 points here in front of the camera, the custom menu and the accessory part menu, and you don't see them on your camera. Just go to the setup menu, and when you're in the setup menu, there's a point which called menu display, and in the menu display you have to turn on the both menus, and because if you didn't turn it on, you will see you only have 4 points here. It's a little bit confusing because some of the photographers think, oh, there are so few points in this menu. No, the reason why there are so few points in the menu is because you've missed to turn on the custom setting and accessory part menu. So that's the reason. Now you see we have the accessory part menu and we have the custom menu. So as I said before, it's very important to work with your camera, to learn the menu, to learn which point works with the camera good or which point works bad. So you have to learn the ISO settings, you have to learn the different settings for noise reduction, and so on and so on. That's very important. Talking about ISO setting, both cameras are going up to 25,600. The Olympus goes down to ISO 100 and the Panasonic goes down to ISO 125. One interesting point which I don't forget to mention is the Lumix has an electronic shutter. What means an electronic shutter? Usually you have the mechanical shutter. If you make a picture, you can hear the shutter like this. That's the oops, sorry. That's the mechanical shutter. You can change the camera to an electronic shutter. The electronic shutter is completely quiet. You have no sound. It goes only up to ISO 3200. You can't use the flash when you work with the electronic shutter, and you have to look the electronic shutter. They may have some effects if you take pictures of fast-moving objects. It might be that there's a little bit that the picture is not clear. It's a little bit like diagonal lines. You have to check this. In the menu, if you go to the menu, we have, just go up here to the, just a second, go up to the here. We have the, just give me a second, you have the, where it is, I see here we have a stop motion, we have a stop motion animation and time-lapse shot. The Olympus had this one too. We have here the electronic shutter, and if we turn the electronic shutter on, the camera is absolutely quiet, except, just a second, you hear absolutely nothing. The camera only, you only hear the beep, just a second here, and you hear a sound, but it's an electronic sound. So, and if you don't want to have the electronic sound, just go down to the custom menu and turn the silent mode to on. And if you turn the silent mode to on, now let's make the same thing. You hear absolutely nothing. It's absolutely silent. You don't have to turn on the electronic shutter and the silent mode, because if you turn on the silent mode, the electronic shutter is automatically turned on. So it's very easy. Just go to the silent mode, turn the silent mode to on, and the electronic shutter is also turned on. So that's very, very easy. So you can change very easy, and I put the point silent mode on this button here on top of the camera, because I don't need the manual change between the electronic and the optical viewfinder, because for me it's good when I put my eyes in front of the electronic viewfinder, it changes automatically, so I don't need this point, and I put there the silent mode. If you see, if I, oh no, just I played a little bit with the camera, so I think, yeah, here we are, silent mode on, off. So it's very easy, you can change very easy and very fast between the different modes. Yeah, these are the main differences between both cameras. One question, what's with the picture quality of both cameras? Yeah, the picture quality of both cameras is real similar. They are on a real high level. I think the main difference between both cameras, the Panasonic is a little bit softer when it goes to high ISO, so you have a little bit less noise, but the pictures are not so detailed. So the Panasonic makes the picture a little bit softer, less noise, less details. Olympus has more details. It's not much, it's a little bit more detailed and not so soft, so you have a little bit more noise in the high ISO range than with the Panasonic. But we're talking about a real high level, and you can make so many changes in the settings. You can make in every setting. You can individually change the sharpness. I can show you here if you are in the menu. You see we have here, if you want to change the photo style, just go to the photo style, and you can change in the photo style the contrast, the sharpness and the saturation. So you can make so many individual settings that if you want a little bit more details in the high ISO area and accept a little bit more noise, you can change this in your individual setting of the camera and make it individual better or worse. So I think they are almost on the same level of picture quality. You can go to my Flickr account, just look for Ralfs Foto-Bude, go on my Flickr account, I put the address in the info field of this video. Just go to my Flickr account, there I have the ISO rows on daylight and ISO rows in low light situations, so you can compare the quality of the pictures just in JPEG, but better than nothing, you can compare the picture quality of both. I think really the picture quality is on a real high level, and it's very nice picture quality you get with both cameras. Important thing, best picture quality you only get if you use very good lenses. It doesn't make sense to buy a camera like this. They are both really expensive. If you buy cameras like this and use cheap lenses, the best quality you get if you use real high quality lenses. That's also the reason why Olympus has with the new OM-D, the E-M1, the new Pro lens with aperture of f2.8. Continuous over the whole focal length, so these are the Pro lenses, and that's a good reason to buy a Pro lens for this camera, because the best picture quality you only get if you use real good lenses. And one of my absolutely favorite lenses is a 75mm lens from Olympus. I like this one very much, and I use it very often on the Panasonic because it's a real good lens, and I like the lens very much. Yeah, so I think, in my opinion, the Olympus OM-D is a little bit more professional because you have the battery grip, you have the sealed body, it's a little bit more rough, the grip in front is a little bit bigger, so you can hold the camera a little bit better. The Panasonic, in my opinion, has a little bit more function, especially in the Wi-Fi function. It has an electronic shutter, it has the movable electronic viewfinder, but it's not a pro camera. It's more a camera for the advanced amateur, or maybe a little bit going down to the semi-pros. But this one I think it's one of the best amateur cameras in the mirrorless segment I know, because it combines real good functions, Wi-Fi function, electronic viewfinder, speed, real high speed, good picture quality for a reasonable price in a real small body. So I think this is a real good choice, and if you are going more professional, I think the Olympus is the good choice, especially if you want to use your old lenses, because the face detection autofocus here for the old 4-third lenses, this is a real good choice. You have a real fast and professional autofocus if you have the old 4-third lenses with the adapter. Yeah, so this is my review of the both Micro Four Third mirrorless cameras, OM-D E-M1 and Panasonic Lumix GX7. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helped you a little bit more to decide which camera is better for you, which one fits your needs better. I couldn't go into the deep of both cameras because you see it's still a very long video, and go into the deep it would take an hour more. So I will make for both cameras, for the GX7 I have it still, but for the OM-D I will make in another video where I go a little bit more in deep of the camera, in the depths of the camera, and I show a little bit more to the menus and the settings and so on, how to work with the autofocus, and so that's in another video. So look for the GX7. It's still in my YouTube channel, and for the OM-D I will make an extra video in the next days. So thanks for watching me. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned on my video channel. Next week we will get some new cameras, because no, we have it still, but I will have it in the Foto-Booth. The new Sony Alpha 7 and 7R. I hope I will get it in the Foto-Booth, and I can show you a video too. So stay tuned, have fun taking pictures, and for now I say bye bye and moin moin.